Hello, my loves. Welcome back to Chemistry with Kismet Tarot. I am Monica, the Kismet Chemist, and today's reading was inspired by the energy moving through the collective. So there's been this intense, heavy, emotional energy. I myself have been impacted on a personal level, on an energetic level, and definitely on a spiritual level. There's a lot of doubt swirling everywhere, a lot of confusion, a lot of kind of the energy of seeking, looking for answers, looking for peace, looking for clarity. And this is a collective energy. And because that's everywhere, I wanted to come here today and give you guys a little bit of guidance, a little bit of clarity. Just kind of keep the channel open and allow for Spirit to bring forth whatever it is that Spirit wants to bring forth, whatever it is that you need to hear today. Because I feel as though despite a lot of upbeat messages that I have seen and have felt, there's still kind of an undercurrent of fear and worry and doubt. And I want to help illuminate that for you all. So we have 3 piles. Pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. So go ahead and take a little bit of time, look over the piles, get in touch with the energies, and the timestamps will be down in the description box, so I will see you at your pile. Hello, pile 1. If you chose the first card, the first image, this is your message. So this is the Creativity Oracle deck, and I will move the image up just a little bit. And the message on the card is perfectionism. Be content to know perfectionism as a distant utopian goal to which we journey but never arrive. Card number 33. So some of you may be trying to do something different in your life, trying to start a new project, in the middle of a project. I just keep hearing trying. It's this continual, I'm going to do it. I'm gonna get there, and then you get caught up on every tiny, minute little detail. And every time you get caught up on the minute details, it's this shadowy energy of perfectionism coming in that's saying, oh, but you're something or other, as though your mind is playing on a loop in the background and you don't hear it necessarily, but it's still saying these things. And so it's put you on this kind of almost obsessive path, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I get that way myself, but it's kind of like you want to, it's okay. So the image I'm seeing is somebody cleaning a mirror, and the mirror is clean, but every time they pull the rag away, they see just they think they see like a little piece of fuzz or just a tiny little streak, or they're like, well, that's not as shiny, like that doesn't look as clean as this looks. And so the more you do this, you keep going over the same thing over and over and over and over again, because you want to have it be exactly right. And it's not necessarily wanting it to be perfect, but it's, I want it exactly right. But it's not meant to be exactly right. The beauty is in the imperfections, and it's this is hard. Spirit, can you help me explain this? Okay, so when you're a teenager, you go through all these hormonal changes, and you can break out an acne on your face, and you can get really insecure because you want to have this perfect unblemished skin and all of that. But the problem with that mindset is that you're not seeing the inherent beauty in your skin itself as it is. When you keep trying to make something into what someone else or something else would describe as perfect, you take away its inherent beauty. So this feels like a call to trust yourself in what you create, but also a call to trust yourself in who you are, and to see that as much as you can go through personal transformations, and we all do it all the time, it's kind of a never-ending cycle, but there's no perfect way to do it, and there's no perfect self you'll ever get to. And the beauty of this life, of this experience, is in the imperfect moments. It's in those moments that we think that we aren't going to be able to get back up, and then we do. It's in those moments where we are weeping in sadness or in pain or in anguish, and we wipe our tears away and we stand up and we move forward. Those are seemingly imperfect moments, and those are where the trueness, the true genuine beauty within you shines the brightest, is when you are 100% true to yourself. You don't need to be polished. You don't need to be perfect. And whatever it is that you're working on doesn't need to be that way either. It simply needs to be infused with your own energy. So we've got 2 archetype cards here, and this one is intentionally reversed because we're going to take a look at the shadow energy of this. And then this one is upright to help kind of show you where there is an imbalance. And I want to say this ahead of time. I apologize if some of my filming or like the movement is off from my hands. It is Mercury retrograde. My computer has been having some processing issues, so if anything gets kind of off kilter, I do apologize for that. So let's take a look at your archetype energy. So we have artist, and the shadow attribute of it is using talent as an excuse to mistreat others, posing as the starving artist to elicit pity. And then we have the hermit. The light attributes are seeks solitude to focus intently on inner life, serves personal creativity. Okay. What I just heard was, it's not an accusation. So this isn't saying it's an accusation. This is saying that there's a part of you that is worried that you're following your own creative path and your own artistry, and you're doing it for the wrong reasons. And that, I think, is why you've had this artist shadow card with the hermit upright, because the hermit card tells me that there's a part of you, and a big part of you, that recognizes that you may be feeling this way, that you may be seeking whatever kind of artistic project or artistic lifestyle that you can in order to gain affection or gain monetary something. And you recognize this within yourself, and so you have actually willingly withdrawn yourself to make sure that when you move forward with your artistic project, that it is truly serving you. It is serving spirit. It is serving the higher good, but it is just true art for the sake of expression. And sometimes as artists, in the world that we're living in with all of the things that we have going on, all of the struggles, all of the hardships, we can start to think that the only way in which we'll ever get anywhere with our art is to play to the masses. And that's not being true to yourself. The more true to yourself you are, the more, and we just had the Justice card pop out, but that's too many cards. The more true to yourself you are, the more balanced you will get. And okay, it's already gone. But with that Justice card, she's actually balancing the light and the dark. She's balancing her outer expression with her shadow side. And that, I feel like, is what will help you get out of this energy of I have to keep polishing, I have to make it perfect, I have to be perfect, I have to do everything right, because we're supposed to make mistakes. It's what we're here to do. We're here to grow. We're here to learn. And we can learn without making mistakes. But I have found that when I make a mistake, I learn the deepest lessons. I learn the most profound lessons. I learn the most long-lasting lessons whenever I make a mistake, which, we don't ever necessarily make mistakes because they're just lessons. They're part of the journey. It's like stumbling over a rock when you're hiking. You're not going to call it a mistake. It was an accident. You stumbled over a rock. So if you feel like you made a wrong turn, a wrong move, it's not actually a mistake. It's just a stumble. It's an accident. It's a moment. Okay. One more, Spirit. One more. All right. So we have the Empress, the Queen of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Star card. And on the back, we have the Four of Cups. So the back energy is usually the shadow energy, but what I'm picking up from that is that's kind of the energy that you have been in for a while. And I will always say that the Four of Cups card to me feels like the saddest the saddest card in the deck, because when I feel into it, when I look at it, it's like she believed she had, or he believed it. There's no actual gender assignment here, but there was this belief that you had everything that you wanted. It was right there. Everything was exactly what you wanted, and you thought, this is it. This is my time. This is my chance. This is it. And it's like one by one, things fell off, things fell apart, things crashed and burned. And when that happens, it is an understandable and a natural human response to be like, okay, I need to slow down and I need to feel this. I need to let myself feel this. Even though the universe will come in and say, this happened because I want to give you this. I want you to see this. I want you to know this, because it's this blessing that is being offered that you will grow through. But that does not mean that it did not cause pain. It does not mean that it has been easy. It does not mean that everything that was crumbled down around you has been overlooked or taken for granted at all. Not by you, not by your spirit guides, not by spirit, not by your loved ones. I just saw 1111 on the clock for you guys, and we've got repeating threes. So you may be seeing ones and threes. But it hasn't gone unnoticed. You have not gone unnoticed. We're not always going to understand what it is that's going on. We're not always going to understand all the turmoil that's going on. And sometimes there is something that is so big that we don't understand where it's coming from, but we just know it's hitting us in a completely different way. And all we can do is weather the storm. And that's what I feel like you guys have been doing for a really long time, is weathering this storm. And the part that catches me is this rainbow coming down into the cup. It's kind of like when you're ready, when you know you are ready to stop looking to the past or looking at the things that have fallen apart and move forward into this blessing that you're already aware of is there. This this inspiration, this idea. And the reason I'm getting that is because of the Empress card. It's like you already have this and you're nurturing it and you're growing it within you, this idea, this creation, some spark of this is what I'm going to do, and I know this is the right thing. But you're still holding some pain from the past and some kind of old mindsets, and that's okay, because what I'm seeing here is that it's for you to work through. No one can rush you. No one can tell you a time frame. It's for you to work through, to let your emotions flow through you, to let yourself kind of grieve, yell, throw things, whatever you need to do, because what that's doing is it is helping to get you into this state of, I'm going to nurture myself now. I'm going to let this creative idea just percolate within me, just kind of build and work through it. And I know when the time comes, I will move forward. And when you do that, you're going to move forward with this brilliant idea, and you'll be looking to the future instead of to the past, but you will be completely and utterly present, because the Queen of Swords is always utterly present, but she sees very far into the future. She knows where she's headed. And she's got this cup and it's behind bars, but to me, it doesn't mean that you're shutting your emotions off. It means that you're learning not to be controlled by your emotions, but you're also learning how to utilize them in the right way, in the right time, and in the right place. There's a lot that feels like it's finally falling together, and that comes in with the Seven of Pentacles, where he's literally like, he's growing this beautiful, lovely baby tree, and he's using his own energy, his own loving life force energy, kind of like Reiki, but this is more spiritual in nature, and he's nurturing the seeds that he's planted. He is lovingly nurturing them, and he's doing it in full trust. I'm seeing closed eyes a lot, because all of them are learning how to trust. Each and every step of the way, you're learning how to trust. You're learning how to move through this in a trusting state. And with the Star card, this is literally saying, you know, the Star card is associated with Aquarius energy, and Aquarius rules the 11th house. The 11th house is not just about your communities and your groups and your affiliations, but it's also about your hopes and your dreams and your wealth and your abundance in this life. So this is saying that you're working through everything that has been holding you back from the past. You're working to heal that. You're working to move through it. You're doing the right thing. You just needed to see that you're doing the right thing. There's no perfect way of doing it. There's no perfect process. And no matter how many resources you go and look up online, it's not going to be exactly right for you, because what's right for you is something that comes from within. And at that point, when you hit that point and you understand that you have been doing this the whole time, you're going to look up and make a wish, and you're going to essentially lasso the stars and pull them down to you. Instead of trying to reach for them, you're going to bring them to you, is what I'm seeing. And there's a lot of hope that can be held on to if you choose to hold on to it. And I don't do toxic positivity. I'm not going to tell you that there's hope when there's no hope. I'm going to tell you that, yeah, the energy is heavy. Everything is heavy right now. Like, it just is. There's a lot changing and shifting, and we're doing our best to move through it. But that doesn't mean that all hope is lost when things fall apart. We just have to remember to find that hope. Find that hope in who you are and what you're capable of. Have some of you been seeing hawks or really big crows or ravens? I'm just looking at this bird on the Queen of Swords, and it reminded me of a hawk. So we have Wish Upon a Star. I was going to put it on this side, but that's kind of perfect. Card 39. And then we've got the card 3 with Time Machine. Again, a lot of 3s. So what this is saying to me is absolutely, most definitely, when it comes to the Time Machine, it's kind of like you can look to the past, or you can look to the future, or you can know that the future is going to be what you want it to be, so you can live in the present and let those things go. You can't change the past. It happened. What happened, happened. You can't change it. As much as you might want to, you can't. But you can review it, you can view it, you can separate yourself from it, you can learn from it, and then you can move forward. So sometimes the time machine, we get into this state where we just want to go back. We want to fix the things that we couldn't fix in the past. And if we're meant to fix those things, if those are things that we're meant to repair, they will come back around. But going into the past continually leaves us in the Four of Cups energy. So Spirit's really saying, like, you want to have hope, wish upon a star. Embrace that childlike nature, like go outside one night and look up at the stars and look for a shooting star. Look for a shooting star. Even if you don't find one, do the I wish I may, I wish I might, grant the wish I wish tonight, and you just pick a star and do that. Because a higher power is literally listening right here and right now, calling to you, asking for you to embrace this, to hear this, to understand that you are moving into a state in which you're more aligned with your higher power, but you're more aligned with your higher self and with what is for your highest good. So wish upon a star. Again, I told you guys I don't do toxic positivity, but I can literally feel this insistence from Spirit and your spirit guides. They're like, we're waiting. What do you want? What do you hope for? What do you wish for? Wish it. Speak it into existence. I can't tell you guys how many times I've said, I want my YouTube channel to blow up. I want my YouTube channel to take off and to reach millions of people or hundreds or thousands of people. I want my books to be bestsellers. I've said that so many times. I don't torture myself when it doesn't happen. Yes, the slow process is kind of difficult for me, but it's in its own time. And that's something that's important for all of us to remember, is when it's in its own time, it comes in the time that we're ready for it. So keep wishing, keep hoping, and keep moving forward. Keep nurturing the things that you are meant to nurture, including yourself. And don't let your mind get away with you, and don't let your emotions get away with you. So we've got the Fates and another 17. This is even further confirmation. There's a lot of stars here. Card 47 and go the distance on the back. So this is, I just heard a fated time. And you may have heard this 1.5 million times before from however many readers. I know I felt that way myself when I have been in the throes of the shadows and shadow work and inner journeying and the pain and the anguish and the journey that is very difficult. But if you can feel it, if you know it, you feel it. And no one can refute that. This is literally like, what do you want? Because fate is starting to align. So wish upon a star. Keep a hold of that hope and keep doing what you're doing, but realize that you're already perfect as you are. No matter how many imperfections you may perceive yourself to have, they're not true, because Spirit loves you, your guides love you, I love you, your family, your friends. More than you realize, you are loved. More than you realize. As long as you're aware, this is what I'm hearing, as long as you're aware, you won't ever move from that shadow energy because you're aware of its existence. Don't hold yourself back anymore. Now is your time. Okay, pile one, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you to your guides and my guides for facilitating this connection. Thank you to Spirit for allowing me to share these messages with the collective, to use my gifts and share them with others. And thank you again, pile one, for being here. I wish you guys the best. I hope that you guys find what wish you're hoping for. I truly do. I want to say thank you again. You guys know the drill. If this resonated, There's all the little buttons, all the little things, and down in the description box are links to all of my stuff, so you guys can check that out if you are so inclined. I don't want to keep you too much longer, so I will let you go here. I love you, love you, love you. Bye. Hello, pile 2. If you chose the second pile, the second card, this is the message for you. And I did want to start off with saying that I am having a little bit of a lag issue between my audio and my video. So if some of it is kind of off, I apologize for that. There's still Mercury retrograde going on, and I've been having some issues with computer loading and everything. So let's take a look at your card. So you got the card of accomplishment. Remember past accomplishments as a way to overcome present self-doubt. Card 26. So the first thing about this and that I picked up is this man riding the horse, and I'll move it up so you guys can see it a little bit better. He seems really like overwhelmed. And self-doubt can absolutely be one of the most overwhelming emotions to have to work through. The other thing that I'm getting is, how do you view accomplishment? What do you view as an accomplishment? Sometimes when we're trying to do the next thing, take the next step, it can be really hard to remember that, you know what, even if this is a new project, look at what I completed before. Look at what I've done before. Look at what I've overcome before. And know that if you can do that, if you can overcome that and complete these things, that is an accomplishment. And that means that you've already been through this or even harder. And if you can continually remind yourself of that, like, hey, I've done this before. Hey, I have overcome this before. Hey, I have overcome harder, more challenging things in my life. It can help get you moving forward. So I have these 2 archetype cards, and this one is intentionally reversed because we're going to take a look at the shadow aspect and then take a look at the light attribute on this card. And the reason why we're taking a look at the shadow aspect is because this is kind of a background shadow that you may not be aware of is occurring. And then the light attribute is giving you a way of kind of bridging it together so that you can pull yourself out of this state of self-doubt. Hey, I rhymed. Are you guys poets? Okay, so we have saboteur. And the shadow attribute is induces self-destructive behaviors or the desire to undermine others. All right. And then we have priest. Light attributes. Facilitates spiritual commitments. Serves as a channel of spiritual energy. Okay. So what this is telling me is you may know that you're a channel in some way, shape, or form, and you have done it before. You've committed to some sort of spiritual journey, whether that be, like, for instance, what I do, doing tarot readings and oracle readings, or if it is Reiki healing, or just any kind of work that you view as being a channel for spirit. And that, it's a very broad spectrum. Like, to me, there really is no definitive definition of that. I think we all work with spirit in our own unique way. But when you commit to that, that self-doubt can come in really firmly. Like, who am I to do this? Am I really worthy of this? How could I do that? But you've made that commitment, and you can harness that internal understanding and awareness energy so that you don't actually fall victim to these self-sabotage tendencies. And that's what self-doubt is. It's a self-sabotage tendency, because we tell ourselves, well, I can't do it this way, or I can't do it that way, or I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have the energy, I don't have the money, but the more that you say that, the more you're fueling the self-sabotage and the self-doubt. I don't have enough followers, I don't have enough support, and I just saw 444 on my clock, so you guys may be seeing repeating 4s. But this is literally saying, you have this innate connection to the divine, this innate connection to your soul. You have access to this spiritual understanding and awareness, and you are learning how to bring that more into your everyday life, into the things that you do and the people that you speak to and the way that you move in the world. And it's the right thing for you. The more that you doubt yourself, the harder it is to keep going on that path, because this is a journey that requires a lot of faith, a lot of trust, and a lot of that faith and trust that you may perceive as, I need to put faith in my guides. I need to put faith in the universe. I need to put faith in spirit. You can't always put all that faith there if you don't have faith in yourself, because then you're not bringing yourself into equality. Like, it's like coming to the table as equals. You want to come to the table as equals and say, okay, this is what I want to do. I believe in myself. Let's do this together. And then you move forward together in a co-creative collaboration with spirit, with the universe. Self-sabotage is difficult. It is difficult to overcome, but it isn't impossible. Nothing is impossible. And if you don't believe me, look at what you've accomplished already. Look at what you've already overcome. I don't need to tell you this. You already know, because it's your life. It's your experiences. But sometimes you just need to hear it from somebody else. And I'm not judging whatsoever, because I get that way too. It's the joys of the human condition, the human mind, and especially when you're on a spiritual path and you know that you have struggled so much in the past because you aren't sure whether you're doing the right thing or moving in the right direction. It can be very confusing. Okay, Spirit, can we get messages for pile 2? Oh, okay. All right, on the back of the deck, we have the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords is quite literally this, all the same energy, this self-doubt, the self-sabotage. You may think that you can't, I can't see, I can't understand, I don't know where I'm going. You may not see very far into the future right now, but you can see the next step. And that's what Spirit really wants you to know, is you can see the next step. And you guys got 5 cards. So we have the 9 of Cups, the Moon, the Page of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and the 6 of Swords. Okay. So, oh, you guys are my backwards pile. Every once in a while when I lay the cards out, I will get this sense of it needs to move in reverse. It may be because there's something that you are backtracking through. That's strange. I'm not entirely sure what I mean by that, but I have the sense that someone here will know what I mean, or multiple of this, but it feels as though there's this backtrack energy, like, oh, I get it. Okay. So in the past, you may have 100% taken some sort of step in which you believed that each and every one of your dreams was going to come true like that. And it doesn't mean that they're not, but there was some sort of illusion that your mind was creating, like, I have to do this exactly like this and everything will fall in line, everything will happen right away and it will be just fine. But it was this illusion of, this is how it has to be, because that was a form of self-sabotage, because you were like, oh, everything is saying absolutely yes to this, but you weren't actually listening to yourself. You made the wish, but you weren't 100% on board because you didn't have the faith in yourself completely. And so now you feel like, well, I did that and I took that step and now it was all just an illusion. It was all just fake. And now I'm back down to the Page of Pentacles. I'm back down from where I thought I would be, which is this Queen. I want balance, I want harmony, I want peace, I want contentment, but I don't want to have to struggle. And that is a very hard energy to be in. You want to be in this Queen of Pentacles, but you also want to understand what the illusion was that you created or that was created, And the more that you get stuck in the what's the illusion, where is it, where can I find it, how can I locate it, where can I get myself out of, the more you keep yourself in this Two of Swords energy, because sometimes the illusion is coming directly from our shadow side saying, hey, take a look. This is something that you're still holding on to. Can we heal this, please? Because I want to move forward too. Because in my belief, in my truth is that our shadow wants us to succeed just as much as our ego, just as much as our heart, just as much as our soul. Every part of us wants us to have what is for us in this life. And the shadow will rear its nature outward. It will become ever more prevalent until you stop and take a look at it and say, okay, I'm creating this. I know what my heart says. I know what I'm destined for. And it's okay if it takes some time. I understand it can take some time. So I'm going to keep moving forward, and I am going to continue to trust myself, to trust my path. Because at some point, this is so weird. The Six of Swords, what I'm getting here is at some point, it's going to be like, you're going to be looking down, and all of a sudden when you look up, boom, everything is different. How different it will be will depend on each and every one of you, your steps, your journey, whatever you're doing. But the Six of Swords is usually about like leaving the past behind, moving to a new mindset, something like that. But what I'm getting from this is more along the lines of the more that you stand in your truth and you don't look at anything aside from what you know about yourself and your path, because these two have their eyes closed. And I have been pulled to notice eyes a lot. I don't know if some of you have been feeling that a lot, but it's kind of like the eyes are the gateways to the soul to me. And so if somebody is closing their eyes, it's saying, I am trusting my soul and no one else's. I am moving from my soul. And all of these really have that, except for the moon card. She is staring up at the moon. She's deep underwater, but she's staring up at the sky. If you're immersed in water, it's your emotions that are begging for you to see it. It's your shadows. It's the depths of your psyche that are begging for you to see it, to realize it, to understand it, so that you can get out of the water and to dry land, to balance out and to say, okay, this is who I am. This is how I'm meant to be, and I'm going to move forward from here. Yeah, let's get some oracle cards. I did want to mention I saw 1, 2, 3, 4 on the clock as I was talking to you guys, and it kind of had like a shimmery quality to it. 1, 2, 3, 4 to me is that progressive number. It's that take the next step, take the next step, take the next step, because every step that you take, you gain from the step before. So every lesson that you go through, you gain from the one before. And that makes it a lot easier for you to see your accomplishments because they are gradually compounding. Instead of feeling as though mistakes and tower moments or hardships are compounding, see the times you've overcome and let that be the compounding factor, so that when you look back, the pile of what you have overcome is significantly higher than the things that have gone wrong, or the things that you have had to adjust or fix or change or walk away from. All right, Spirit, can we get a little bit more guidance for pile 2? Thank you. Oh, that one almost fell. Sorry about the weird little grunt. Okay, we've got 21 and exposed and revealed. And again, it's the eye. And you can see in the eye, there is a woman who is like curled up in the fetal position. So this is literally you allowing yourself to be exposed. You exposing your truth, your inner nature to yourself. I don't feel like this is an outwardly projected energy. Even with like the Six of Swords cards, which is like a travel card, and the Pentacles cards, which are very earthy energies, I don't feel as though any of this has anything to do with the outside world. This feels very internalized to me. It feels very much like in the middle of your chest, like your heart chakra, your higher heart chakra. There's this understanding and awareness that is being exposed, being revealed to you out in the world or whatever, or Maybe you just one day you woke up and you looked in the mirror and you're like, whoa, now what? When you look yourself in the eyes, it's like a direct challenge to yourself to connect again, to get reconnected to you. And a lot can be exposed, a lot can be revealed, and you can feel very raw, very emotional, very vulnerable. That is exactly the state you're meant to be in, because when you're in that state, then you can see the ways that you hurt yourself, the ways that you sabotage yourself, the ways that you doubt yourself. And you're not meant to do that anymore. You're meant to see the truth of who you are, to open yourself up, and to let yourself be seen. So we have, I love that. Thank you, Spirit. The card number 16 with the Royal U. And then the card 34 with opening to discovery. I love, love, love this. We've got 2 9s and 2 7s here. And to me, that's literally like, it's time for you to seek yourself out. Go and let yourself be opened, because you truly are meant to be as amazing as you think you are. And as soon as you stop doubting, you're going to see that you already have this beautiful, amazing crown on. You may be having a crown chakra opening. Okay. A crown chakra opening can be very disjointed. It can be very kind of chaotic when you don't know what's going on. But I don't feel as though you guys necessarily don't know what's going on. So it may just be like a cleansing, a clearing out of your crown chakra. Like you went to the depths. But this Royal U is literally saying, like, see how amazing you are. See how capable you are. See how incredible you are. Look yourself in the eye and let yourself see the truth of the magnificence that is your soul. And open yourself up a little bit more to discovering more about what you contain within. The bubble is not going to pop. I don't know who needs to hear that, but the bubble is not going to pop. It's not going to pop. You don't need to worry about that. I don't know what that means, but Spirit just pulled my attention to the Saboteur card, and she's got like a needle or something, and she's going up to poke this hot air balloon, but a tiny little needle against a hot air balloon isn't going to do much unless the hot air balloon material isn't built well. But even that, it's not an actual balloon. It's filled with fire, and fire is the essence of spirit. And so this is saying it's not going to pop. You're being filled with the essence of spirit, with the essence of who you are. It's not going to go away. It's not going to change. This is who you are. Let yourself discover who you are. Be exposed. Be revealed. Be you. Be the royal you. Be the true you. So we have the card 33 with chaos and conflict, which, again, that's what I feel like you've been in for a really long time. And this ties in so beautifully because it's a zebra, but it's been wearing this giraffe skin. And that's why there's chaos and conflict. When you wear something that isn't you, like self-doubt or self-sabotage, when you wear those as masks, you invite in chaos and conflict because you have chaos and conflict internally, because you're not seeing the truth of who you are. Zebras are these beautifully unique creatures. They are who they are, and you don't change them. They have these beautiful stripes, and they are not quite horses, but kind of like it. It's kind of like, you know, there's a saying in the medical field, when you hear hoofbeats, don't think zebras, think horses. And so you don't need to worry about how everybody is going to stereotype you or not see the true you, because when you come to the world, when you come forward after all of this self-discovery journey that you're doing, when you come forward and you have moved out of this state of I'm trying to fit in because I have so much self-doubt and I don't want to do this, or I don't want to anything and everything. When you shed the skin of who you thought you were, or who society told you you were, or someone you were in love with, someone you were spending your life with, your parents, anything like that. When you shed that skin and you are your truest self, you're going to move forward, and the world will hear the hoofbeats, and they're going to be thinking a horse, and then they're going to see a zebra, and a zebra is going to spark them to come to you instead of you chasing continually. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, look at this rare and magnificent person. Look how amazing they are. Look what they have to share with the world. I want to see them. I want to know more. I want to share. And that's an okay thing. That's a safe thing. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about whether or not you're worthy of success, and you are, but you also don't have to worry about failure. You're not going to let anyone down. Step into the real you. Shed all of the past and step into the real you, because that will help unstick you from this place of I need to accomplish something, but I can't because I don't know how, because I can't do it, because I don't have this. You can. You're meant to. You will. And then we've got the card 11 and buy the book. You guys have so many repeating numbers. It's outrageous. And on the back, we have milk and honey with the card 51. And I'm drawn to the fact that there is an elephant in milk and honey, and there are elephants in a row that say buy the book. And elephants are these beautiful creatures, but they symbolize overcoming obstacles. They overcome these obstacles continually, over and over and over again. And you know, I'm caught by the way that these guys are all looking this direction. And it's kind of like, if you want to break yourself out of the Two of Swords, let yourself be exposed, let yourself be revealed, let yourself be seen, whether that's by you or by the world or by somebody close to you because you need to. It's time to do that. You've been going on this path thinking that you have to fall in line. And just like this chaos and conflict card, when you find yourself feeling as though you have to fall in line, you bring in chaos and conflict because you're not being true to yourself. But when you are true to yourself, then you have this one that has broken off and has found true happiness, true joy, true peace, true contentment. It's milk and honey. It's beautiful. It's brilliant. It's happiness. And it's there for you. But the first step is to realize that you are the only one that has the ability to break yourself out of this pattern of self-doubt, self-sabotage, self-defeat, because you're not meant to anymore. You've done it for long enough. It's time for the royal you to be discovered. Pile 2, this was absolutely amazing. I want to thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for taking the time to sit with me to hear these messages. Thank you for continuing to move forward on your journey. I am very, very proud of you, and I am honored to read your cards. I want to say thank you to your guides and my guides for facilitating this connection between us. Thank you to Spirit for allowing me to sit here and share these messages with you all. And just thank you guys. You guys know the drill. There are all those fun little buttons up on top if this resonated, and down in the description box there are links to all my different creative projects and whatnot, so you guys can check those out if you feel so inclined. I will see you guys all again next time. I love you guys. Bye. Hello, pile 3. If you chose the third card, this is your message. And I did want to start this off letting you guys know that I am having a little bit of technical difficulties with it being Mercury retrograde, and my computer is having some kind of processing issues here and there. So if the audio and the visual are off kilter just a little bit, don't be alarmed. It's Mercury retrograde. So this is the card that you got, and I'll move the image up for you. And the message is let go. What, if anything, can be done to let go of what is standing in your way? Card 53. I'm sorry, I had to giggle because I don't know if any of you guys have been watching the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case, but I have. And this what, if anything, is like an ongoing joke with that. So yeah, that made me giggle. But what I'm getting here, first of all, we're going to take a look at the image here. So there are these two stone statues, and they're gesturing to the sky, and it's a skeleton and a butterfly coming out from them. And so it's kind of like when you allow yourself to dig into the skeletons in your closet, or whatever it is that's in the past, the things that you aren't proud of, the things that have, challenged you or made you feel as though maybe this life isn't the life that you want, or you're not allowed to have the life that you want. When you can actually allow yourself to see it, you can allow yourself to release it. And I'm seeing these two figures, and it's a man and a woman, but what I'm seeing here is like when you bring your divine feminine and divine masculine into balance, you can release all of those old ways of believing that everything has to be a trial, that there's hardship around every corner, that everything is very dark and dingy, and you're just not allowed, you're not meant to, or you're not allowed to have the things that you desire, have the dreams that you wish, or the life that you wish. It's like as soon as you release it, it's going to fly away. And I'm seeing this cobweb in the corner, and it's kind of like you're clearing the cobwebs of your own mind, of your own psyche, of your own mentality, and releasing all of those things. And some of you may have been doing this since the lunar eclipse that happened in Scorpio, because I was getting a lot of like really strong Scorpio vibes. You guys may have strong Scorpio placements. But the actual question I'm hearing is, what is it that you think is standing in your way? What do you label as holding you back, or standing in your way, or preventing you from doing what you want to do, or where you want to go? What is it that you think is your like stopgap point? Because when you can identify it, then you know how to let it go, because then you can say, okay, well, that's not true. Because that's kind of the feeling that I get here, is that it's this buildup in your mind of, well, I can't do this because this is preventing me. This is stopping me. This is holding me back. And the only thing that holds any of us back is our own mentality that we are being held back. And you can make every argument against me that you want, because I do understand the whole, I don't have the financial resources, or I don't have this kind of support. Absolutely, I get that. I 100% get that. I get that more than you know. But that doesn't mean that it has to hold you back. If you want something, if you want to be something, if you want to do something, then I'm drawn to tell you to take a very analytical approach. Get a notepad out, or like pull it up on your computer and make a list. This is what is standing in my way. How do I remove these things? It's a lot easier when you minimize it down into little bite-sized pieces. Because if you just let yourself list all the little bite-sized pieces, as soon as you're done, you can quite literally go off and cross off a lot of those bite-sized pieces, because you'll be able to understand, because it'll be there visually out of your mind and onto something concrete. You'll be able to say, okay, this is just a mentality. This is just a mentality. This isn't really holding me back. And when you do that, then you are like giving yourself permission to move forward, because, hey, look at all of this that I just took off my shoulders, because you don't even realize that you're carrying that much. It's been going on for so long that you don't realize you're carrying all of that on your shoulders, and it's time to let it pass. It's time to let it die. And you can do this. You can. You keep telling yourself that over and over and over again. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. And if you don't want to tell yourself, then save this video in your, to watch later or whatever, and come back to it every time you need that boost, because you can do this. You can do this. You can do this. You can do this. So we have 2 archetype cards here. This one is reversed intentionally. It's going to be the shadow attributes that is kind of playing in the background that you may not fully realize is there. And then this one is going to be the light attributes, which will help you to become more aware or give you a little bit of guidance into how to pull these shadow attributes out and overcome them. So we have the card Alchemist, and the shadow attribute is misuse of the power and knowledge that come through spiritual practice. Ooh. And then we have Lover, light attributes, great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something. Okay, so sometimes we can really want to be in union or be together with somebody, and we will want it to be a spiritual connection. When you keep holding yourself back from really like getting in touch with the person that you're with, or even with yourself, you can take all of the spiritual knowledge you have and just kind of twist it. And I've seen waves like this go through the collective where there's this energy of, I need to find my partner. I need to find my partner. What is this person thinking? What is that person thinking? And it's to me, it feels so much like a projection of, I don't want to look at myself, so I'm going to be looking for another. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all go through those phases. I've been through those myself. But it's kind of like realizing when you have hit the point of, this is becoming toxic for me to think this way, to search this way. What is it that I need to know so that I don't take all of my spiritual wisdom and misuse it and break things down so that I can't live the passion and the devotion and the love and the creative life that I want with the person that I want. I'm also hearing that some of you may believe that you're not meant for love or capable of love or capable of being loved, and that's just simply not the truth. Sometimes we get that way because we've been through the mill emotionally. We've gone through it. And this feels like a kind of relationship issue to me. When you keep holding on to certain things and you don't know how to make sense of it, if you don't speak to your partner about it, then you are standing in your own way of being able to move beyond it. So an alchemist will take 2 substances, or will take something and will transform it into something completely different, like iron to gold. This is saying that the relationship that you're in, that you're questioning, that you're worried about, that you came here not to hear about, but this is what Spirit wants to talk about, that relationship, it literally is meant for you to have this person next to you to share this journey with. You chose this person out of love. You are with this person out of love. And when these energies come in and your shadow side comes out and it starts questioning you, or you start questioning yourself, it can create this illusion that things are going to get twisted. Things are going to get broken. And it's really important to make sure that you realize that what's going on here is you're standing in your own way because you're actually really afraid to be your full spiritual self. It's kind of like, if I let myself open all of this or open these doors within myself, if I allow myself to walk down this path, he or she will leave me. They will walk out the door. They won't understand. I will lose what I have. But that's not what I'm picking up here. It's like, you have to let go of that mentality. You have to let go of the fear that you're going to misuse something for the wrong reasons, because that's not what you're doing. Anytime you move from the heart, when you genuinely move from the heart, you're devoting yourself to unconditional love. And in that situation, it doesn't matter whether this is with the partner that you're with right now, or with your best friend, or Susie from 2 doors down, or, Jeremy that lives, a block and a half away that you pass by every once in a while when you're out on a walk and he's mowing his lawn and you guys say hi and chit chat a little bit. You don't really know each other, but you interact. And when you interact and you're in this state of, I know who I am and I know what I know and I trust what I know and I use that for my best use, for the world's best use, and I share what I know about love and divinity and wisdom and knowledge and spirituality in a way that helps people understand that it's as acceptable as having long hair versus short hair. You're literally moving in a state of unconditional love and spreading that outward. And you don't need to be afraid of misusing what you have, what you contain within. When you become afraid of that does end up creating this blockage that holds you back, because you have to let go of feeling as though you are going to walk down the wrong path, that you are going to do the wrong thing. And I know that I brought up the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case, and now I understand a little bit more, because their energy is literally everywhere in the collective, FYI, which is creating waves through the collective. Their energy and their case is creating waves through the collective because it's impacting so many people on so many levels. Whether or not they are spiritually aware or not, we all have energy fields. So it is impacting everyone. But it has paid a benefit to a lot of people, because it is pulling up this, am I speaking in the right way? Am I using my power in the right way? Am I sharing my knowledge and my wisdom in the right way? Or am I doing it in order to hurt somebody else? And that is something, and of course, everything I'm saying here is, speculative and my opinion. But when you look at something like this, even if it's not Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, even if you're looking at someone else's situation or even your own, it's the same as saying, okay, I'm so afraid that I'm going to be that way that I don't want to engage in it. What is it that makes it that way? What makes it that way is your own fear of doing that and your lack of awareness of the people around you and the connections that we all have. And we all are interconnected. And so when you let go of that fear, that worry, then there's nothing left standing in your way. Now you've let go of it. Now you understand that you are worthy of being this beacon of unconditional love. And the passions that you have, the devotion that you have to yourself, to your heart, to the person that you love, and the life that you love is not going to be ripped from you, because you're not misusing what you know. You are using it in the proper way. Wow, that was a lot. Okay, Spirit, what do we have for pile 3? Okay, we've got the Two of Pentacles. I love how the colors of these match. It's beautiful. And the Two of Pentacles is really like juggling two things. I've never seen this before with the Two of Pentacles and, of course, the Lover's card. But you see this purse, it's red and it's very solid. And then this second pentacle is like a wisp of a cloud, or it actually reminds me of like the white dandelion seeds that you blow and they like scatter everywhere. But what I'm seeing is you're literally learning to balance the higher realms and the lower realms in the world, and learning how to harmonize these two parts of you, the grounded aspect and the spiritual aspect. And that's actually what this Lover's card is telling me. It's not so much about the connection anymore. But this Lover's card is telling me that at some point you end up feeling off kilter, as though you're being pulled in two different directions. And when you bring those into balance and into harmony, and now I'm drawn to the Merkaba in the middle. So this may be like balancing your chakras may help you feel that connection, that put together. And this is, again, like I said in the very beginning, the divine masculine and divine feminine coming into harmony within you and balancing out within you helps you to let go of these things. So we've got the Nine of Wands, which doesn't surprise me, because the Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. But she's building this fence. And it's not a fence meant to keep others out. And that's kind of what I think you need to understand with this shadowy alchemist energy, is you're not building walls and boundaries to keep other people out. You are building these things because it's time for you to stand in your own power and to say, this is my limit. This is my boundary line. If you cross this boundary line, I'm not going to engage anymore because it's not right for me. It's not right for my relationship. It's not right for my family. It's not right because it does not help us. It harms us. And in doing so, you're not being untruthful, or you're not misusing your spiritual power. You're actually learning how to utilize it in a more healthy, balanced manner. We all choose the path that we take in life. And for those of you who are here who are parents and married and spiritual, those three things are incredibly difficult to balance. They really are. But when you realize that you chose on a soul level to have a family and to be in this and to be spiritual, you chose to balance these two aspects, the physical world and the spiritual world in your life. You chose to balance the masculine and the feminine. So it's okay to draw these lines in the sand, to say, this is my boundary. I can't do this right now. I need time. I need space, whatever it is. Like, it's okay to walk away from certain things that just aren't helping you. It is okay to recognize if there is something in the outside world that is standing in your way and to walk away from it. You're not going to be faulted for that, because this is literally about helping you show the younger generation that pigs can fly. Okay, I giggle, but this is helping you understand that when you are able to balance all of these things out and to get yourself grounded and in equilibrium within and in your relationship, you can more easily dream of the future that you want and work towards that to keep going so that nothing stands in your way. And when you do that, you become the change you want to see in the world. You lead by example for your kids, your spouse, your partner, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your whoever, your friends, your community. You do this by leading by example. You show them, hey, I know this is out of the range of what should be possible, but let me show you how to do this. Let me show you this is possible. Let me show you that I can overcome this. Let me show you that I can make this happen in my life for me. And trust when you do that, when you move from the heart, because this Page of Cups is all from the heart. It's the heart's dreams and wishes and goals. When you do this, you are literally showing your children, or, the younger generation who are our future, you're showing them what it's like to take the next step, to go after those things, because you did and you made it work. And you're showing them that sometimes you can make it in life on just a wish and a hope. And then on the back, we have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, you are a very powerful spiritual person. Like, you have a lot of spiritual gifts, a lot of spiritual power. And when you are one of those people and you have that, it can be very scary because you don't want to misuse it. There is this level of responsibility that I feel, which I believe is why you were drawn here, because Spirit knows that there are a few people that you have found that feel that way. But I do get that. I feel this profound sense of responsibility when I come forth and I share my gifts, because I do not want to lead anybody astray, and I do not want to make false promises, and I don't want to bring more chaos and confusion into the collective when we are already inundated by it. So I do understand if you feel as though you have all of these responsibilities and you don't know how to move forward, but you want to move forward, and you want to move forward in the same level of responsibility as you have learned how to have in your life. It can be very difficult. So we've got the card 37 with never-ending story, and that is what I feel. But you know what? I got a message for you guys like a week ago. So I was hearing Atreyu in my head, and then the theme song for Never-Ending Story. And it literally was about calling it out. It's calling things out. You have to call it out. at the end of the movie, The Neverending Story, he had to call out her name. So he had to literally like put the book down and scream out a window. Spoilers if you've never seen it, but if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's one of the best movies from the, I think it's 90s, 80s, 90s. But this is saying, if you want this story to end, it's time to call out the end. Call it out. Yell out, this is the end. I'm done with this. If you want a cycle to stop, you have to bring it to light. You have to bring it into awareness. Otherwise, you stay in your head and you go around and around and around. Now is the time for this never-ending story to end. Let it end. Like, let it end. Call it out. Let it be done. All right, we've got the card 44 with Thinker. And on the back, we have 31 in white, and 31 also reduces to a 4. And the only reason I brought that up is because you've got 44 here. But yeah, this is the never-ending story, and the why and the Thinker all feel the same. They all feel like you're constantly going over and over and over a problem that you can't solve, and you're wondering why. But she's got this book and it's got wings, and then I'm being brought back to the never-ending story at the end of the movie, where he literally puts the book down, walks to the window, and just screams. So this is less about like being in your head or being in your research mode or being in the book, and moving forward, taking action, calling it out, whatever it is you need to call out, like call out to spirit, call out to your guides, or just simply say, okay, I'm doing this. I'm calling myself out, and I am not going to misuse my power. I'm not going to do the things that I have seen others do. I'm going to move forward from a passionate place, but knowing that I appreciate myself, that I appreciate my life, I appreciate what I'm doing, I appreciate the journey I've been on, but I also appreciate what unconditional love is and looks like, and I am choosing to move forward in that way. So we have, I am not surprised. We have the card 18 with the power of purpose, and the card number 2 with roots of abundance. And on the back, 41 with a higher view. So this is literally saying, like, when you are able to call this out, take this higher view, because, and again, this higher view. Did somebody watch The Neverending Story recently? Because I have never had this many correlations like flood into me. But in The Neverending Story, at the very end, he literally gets up on the dragon and he rides the dragon, and he uses the dragon to scare the kids. Does he hurt the kids? No, he scares them until they jump into a dumpster, which is where they put him the first time. So it's kind of like hey, this is what it feels like. Hey, let me bring the truth to this for you. Let me let you see this. And after that, that's it. He doesn't attack them. He doesn't keep bullying them. He doesn't hurt them. This is saying, take a higher view. See how you can move forward in bringing the truth to a situation. But know that you're not misusing your power. You're not misusing what are God-given gifts within you, because you have. It's time for you to understand. It's time for you to see that you are the one that has the power to end this, to end this story, to let go of the fears from the past, these fears that you're going to hurt someone, you're going to do the wrong thing, you're going to be hurt by someone, and realize that you have a purpose here, and you know it, you felt it, you actually know what your purpose is, which FYI, kudos, because I don't even think I can define it. Yes, I'm doing this. I feel very purposeful when I do this, but I also do a lot of other things, and I feel that way with I have this, whatever. My point here is that you guys know, like, you guys are focused on this purpose that you have. And the more that you allow yourself to be focused on this purpose, the more those roots of abundance go down deeper and get firmer, and the tree grows higher. And you literally, like, all of this has been to make sure that you know that within you, you have this one fear that you're holding on to, and now is the time to let it go. Because as long as you move from the heart, you're never going to do it the wrong way. You're never going to say the wrong thing, and you're not out here intentionally hurting people. You're out here teaching people, and sometimes you have to teach people in really unorthodox ways. Trust me, I know, I've got kids. Okay. Spirit wanted you to see this one. I don't know why by the book he's like, I just heard like, no. To the sea. Get out of your head and into your heart. And I'm not the only person who said that to you recently. But get out of your head and into your heart and let your heart guide you. Your heart is what knows the way. And I'm looking and I'm seeing this arrow here. And there's an arrow in here. You want to take aim, stop asking why, and get back into your emotions. That's what's going to get you there. That is what will get you there. Your emotions, your heart will take you where you need to go. And you already know the path. It's time. Nothing standing in your way except your own fears. Okay, pile 3. Wow, I hope this resonated or makes sense to you guys. There was a lot. But I want to say thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. I'm sorry if I sounded a little firm. I felt like I needed to be a bit more firm with your guys' pile. I do send you guys so much love. I know this is not an easy thing, and especially when you face your fears, but sometimes you have to be able to tap into the energy of your own inner power and know that it's the right thing. So thank you so much for being here again. Thank you to your guides and my guides for facilitating this connection. Thank you so much, Spirit, for allowing me to sit here and to share these messages with the collective and with pile number 3, and allowing me to have you speak through me. It really does fill my heart. So pile 3, thank you again so much. If this resonated, you guys know the drill. There's all those fun little buttons up on top, and down in the description box you can find links to all my other projects. Check them out if you so choose, if you feel pulled to it. So pile number 3, thank you again. I love you guys. Draw that line in the sand and make your dreams come true, because man, your guides just want you, like they want you to move away from this in a very pumped up state. So go make your dreams come true, because they believe in you and they are ready for you to get yourself pumped up. So thank you again. I love you all. Bye.